In 2014, North Star Games released Evolution, a card-based tabletop game about adapting to the environment. It has since been adapted into digital format for iOS, Android, and Steam, and now, as of December 10th, it's available on Nintendo Switch. Originally designed by an evolutionary biologist in Russia as an educational tool for students, Evolution was transformed into a full-fledged board game after designer Dominique Crapuchet stumbled upon the game and quickly became obsessed with its strong theme. Evolution is played over multiple rounds, as players use multi-use cards to produce new species, increase their population and body size, inherit traits to adapt to the environment, and even play those same cards to generate food. The game encourages you to be bold and rewards the players who thrive best under the changing conditions. Since its initial release, the Evolution series has been expanded upon multiple times, culminating in arguably the best and most complete version, Evolution Climate. It's one of the most treasured games in my collection, so be aware that my thoughts here are from the perspective of someone with a lot of experience with a more complex iteration of this game. The footage you'll see here has been captured on the Steam version, but the Nintendo Switch version is identical. While the beauty of Evolution isn't quite as stunning in digital form as in person, it's still a very visually appealing game, bursting with vibrant colors and background environments. The gorgeous card illustrations make each trait come to life. The digital version also comes with a nice soundtrack along with sound effects when a species takes food, evolves into a carnivore, and plenty of other little moments. The tutorial does an excellent job of easing you into the flow of the game by introducing new traits and mechanics one step at a time. No need to read any rules or watch how to play videos beforehand, just fire up the tutorial and dive right in. In many ways, the campaign functions as an extension of the tutorial. When I first realized most campaign levels simply introduced advanced trait cards omitted from the tutorial, I have to admit I was somewhat disappointed. I had hoped for something new to me, which was probably unreasonable considering my extensive experience with the more advanced Evolution Climate. After playing about 3/4 of the campaign though, I still found myself wanting to continue. The difficulty varies, as some levels I beat all 3 of my AI opponents by more than double the points, while at other times I lost unexpectedly, forcing me to rethink my approach. Even as a seasoned Evolution Climate player, there was enough in this extended tutorial-style campaign to keep me interested and feeling challenged by the puzzly nature of these scenarios. It's worth noting that it isn't until level 7 of the 24-level campaign that the final set of trait cards is introduced and you're actually playing with all the rules of the base game. If you're new to Evolution, then what I said shouldn't matter to you here, because at this price point, the campaign has plenty there for new players and you'll feel as though you're discovering something new each time you progress. As you play through the campaign, you'll unlock new AI personalities, allowing you to choose from 5 different types of opponents to play against. For example, the Carnivora Barbarous personality is a more aggressive type of player that'll often resort to carnivores to attack other species. This might seem like a minor feature, but it directly addresses an issue many digital games have with AI players being predictable. I really appreciated this distinction between playstyles, making it feel more similar to playing with real players. And since the AI doesn't take any time to decide on their turns like a human opponent would, games absolutely fly by. This will be the quickest way for you to play Evolution. Sure, the AI won't always make the smartest move, but neither will a human player. With an AI system this smooth, I have no complaints. Although there is a pass and play option, since Evolution shines with 3 or 4 players, I'm not sure I'd want to play it this way, unable to see what's going on when it's not my turn. Perhaps on the Nintendo Switch, passing around a controller while having it up on the screen in front of everyone would be a nice option for a more relaxed gaming experience. The weekly challenges I've tried so far have been similar to campaign levels, with added restrictions for an extra degree of difficulty. For instance, the most recent one I tried was a vegetarian-based challenge where I could not consume meat food at all. It seemed easy enough at first, but as the watering hole dried up due to an overabundance of species to feed, becoming a carnivore was no longer an option. As my species withered away due to limited food availability, I barely hung on to my lead. The weekly challenges are available in 3 difficulty levels, and there are rewards to be gained here as well. I look forward to seeing what other interesting weekly challenges become available down the road. Finally, we get to the online, where you can add friends, play against other human players, and compete for a spot on the leaderboards. The Find a Match option is basically just a quick search function that'll automatically match you up with players of a similar rank. Even though I never saw more than 25 people online here at once, I never had to wait more than a couple minutes to be set up with a 4-player game. Since this is fully cross-platform, you can expect an injection of new players for online play soon with the release on Nintendo Switch. Timed games are exactly what they sound like. timed games that you can play with friends or AI. Personally, I have very little interest in asynchronous games of Evolution, but the option is there. Northstar Digital Studios deserves a lot of credit. If you take a look at the discussion threads for Evolution on Steam, you'll see a clear desire from them to interact with their player base and ask for feedback. They've admitted to their mistakes and are committed to making the best experience possible at a fair price. They're already working on the digital version of Evolution Climate, which will be an add-on to Evolution, and the digital version of Oceans, their newest tabletop release, isn't far off either. Don't get me wrong, I would always rather play Evolution in person because there's a high level of player interaction. On the other hand, since everything is automated, there's no setup or takedown, no shuffling cards, just a couple clicks and you're ready to go. So I wouldn't recommend the digital version as a strict replacement for the tabletop version, but if you're looking for an alternative to experience this incredible series, Evolution Digital won't let you down. Discovering the ins and outs of the card play and hand management, when to continue with your current strategy or pivot in another direction, and just seeing all the combinations of traits in play with and against one another is so rewarding. There are 25,600 different combinations to explore, meaning there's always something new to unravel. Yes, it's educational, but it's executed in a way that still feels primarily like a brilliant tactical game, while the educational aspect simply serves as the cherry on top of an already fantastic product. So come and join me online for some Evolution Digital. My carnivore's empty belly won't feed itself.